Hello, friends, and welcome into College Football Now. I am Tom Downey, and it might surprise you guys, but College Football National Signing Day, well, it's tomorrow, and with almost all the commits decided, a couple still hanging out there, we figured we'd take you through the current top 25 recruiting rankings. We'll begin at number 25 and work our way down to number 1. Nebraska Cornhuskers, they're number 25. Shout out Missouri for jumping into number 24. Last time we did this video, they were not that close to being inside the top 25. Penn State checks down there at number 23. That is a little bit deceptive. The Nittany Lions have a pretty small class, just 15 commits, so the volume is not great. The quality is pretty solid, but quantity matters a lot in these rankings, so they check in out to the top 20. Ole Miss is number 22, and then how about Cal checking in at number 21? Now, we're going to have plenty of recruiting coverage for you this week, especially tomorrow on Wednesday on National Signing Day. So if you don't want to miss out on where the final top 25 rankings end up checking in on a bunch of different team-specific recruiting classes, hit that big red button and subscribe. That way you guys don't miss out. Now, before we get into the rest of the top 20, the not-so-good programs. Okay, Rutgers actually pretty good. Shout out Greg Schiano. He'd be a great fit for Tennessee now that I think about it. They're number 36. Florida State is behind Rutgers in the recruiting rankings, which is not a sentence I ever thought I would say. Auburn is number 43, but you can blame a decent amount of that on undergoing a coaching change. Texas Tech, I know they don't recruit great in general, but they're 64th, and they kept their head coach. They are one of the lowest-rated Power 5 programs who kept their head coach this offseason. South Carolina, meanwhile, is bringing up the rear at number 92. On the bright side, that's growth. I checked this list out a couple days ago, and they were outside the top 100. There are Mid-American Conference schools ahead of the Gamecocks. That is not a very good sign. Maybe South Carolina can turn it around on signing day. So let me know in the comments, folks, who you think the most disappointing class is so far. Maybe it's Auburn, maybe it's South Carolina, or maybe it's one of this next group of schools we're about to get to. Arkansas, number 20, pretty good there for Sam Pittman. Texas at number 19. Now, look, I know they made the very late and very quick firing and hiring of Tom Herman and Steve Sarkisian, respectively. Texas is not ever supposed to be ranked number 19 in any recruiting class. They're Texas. They are not back yet. How about Maryland, by the way? Checking in at number 18. They even have a 5-star recruit this year. Inside linebacker Terrence Lewis. He's number 20 overall. Fun fact for the Terrapins, their top 8 signings, all on defense. That's pretty darn good. Iowa checks in at 17. And then with where they were ranked at the beginning of this process, way back in May, Tennessee was number 2 at one point. They looked like they were going to put together one of the best recruiting classes in program history. The money bags full of McDonald's was paying off, and I said that wrong, whatever. It did not go very well for Tennessee, and now they're facing potential sanctions, and they're checking down there at number 16, and they've trended the wrong way, and now they're going through a coaching change. And Josh Heupel is the one to bring it back to prominence? Probably not. All right, Wisconsin, they check in at number 15. 5-star offensive tackle Noel Nucci, because of course one of the only 5 stars Wisconsin ever gets is an offensive lineman. Michigan was number 10 during the early signing day period. They've slipped down to number 14, but they were able to retain 5-star quarterback J.J. McCarthy. Florida was also in the top 10. Then they slipped a little bit. They did keep 5-star cornerback Jason Marshall. They have 3 kids, by the way, either signed or committed or already enrolled in the top 100. The UNC Tar Heels, Mac Brown is finding a way to recruit. They're number 12. And the Miami Hurricanes, which is kind of also Transfer U, they check in at number 11. 2 different 5-star recruits and a quarterback to keep an eye out for. Top 50 recruit Jake Garcia. Let's dive into the top 10 now. USC, the Fighting Clay Heltons always seem to find a way to rally late in the signing and in the recruiting process there. Leading the way, I should say, that wasn't English. Corey Foreman, the number 1 overall recruit, their lone 5-star. USC was hovering around just inside the top 15. They jump into number 10, though, with the addition of Foreman. There is one of the top recruits still left unsigned. That is top 3 player JT Tuimoloau, who has not yet committed. And apparently the buzz is he's not going to commit on National Signing Day either. It's going to drag out because apparently his senior season got delayed and hasn't even started yet. So where will he sign? USC's in the mix. Oregon's in the mix. Alabama, Ohio State. We'll get to those two in a little bit. Make your predictions for me in the comments section. Number 9, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who are going to have a pretty low-key signing day. Their early signing day was busy. They locked up almost all of their guys. Their number 1 player, offensive tackle Blake Fisher, number 54 overall. No 5 stars, but it's a deep class, 27 total, with 12 of those being 4-star recruits. Oklahoma, they're next up here with their number 1 recruit and the heir to the current quarterback guru star under Lincoln Riley, currently held by Spencer Rattler, in Caleb Williams, the number 6 overall recruit, their lone 5-star. Oklahoma does not have a big class. It is only 16 players deep. Might be able to add a few more players on National Signing Day, but this is a strong, quality class for Lincoln Riley. Head over to chatsports.com/flowers. That link is going to save you guys 15% off Flowers and all the incredible gifts they have. Because pro tip, you do not want to forget about Valentine's Day. Producer Brett can confirm for you. Head over to chatsports.com/flowers. You can buy awesome flowers or all types of little gift boxes that your significant other will greatly appreciate. And it's a lot better than being in the doghouse because you're probably still stuck together. You guys can't go anywhere because quarantine's still a thing for the most part. Chatsports.com/flowers. 15% off everything. Go in and do it now. Don't wait to the last second. Get it taken care of. That way you're not freaking out at the last minute. The Oregon Ducks are next up here. No 5-star recruits. It's kind of the opposite of their class last year. 2020, Oregon had a not deep class. It was a much smaller class, but a lot of 5 stars, top heavy, if you will. This class, of their 22 players, 18 of them are 4 stars. That's some nice way to build some depth in the Pac-12. The last time we did this video, Texas A&M was not in the top 10. And then Jimbo Fisher stepped up and got the Aggies almost in the top 5. They got a 5-star commit. Defensive end Shamar Turner, number 21 overall. A bunch of different 4 stars as well. So the Aggies check in at number 6. And now let's dive into the Blue Bloods because, well, welcome to college football recruiting, right? The Clemson Tigers, once again, not quite hitting that 25-ish mark, but coming in just under 19. 3 of them are 5 stars. 14 of them are 4 stars. They got Tristan Lay, one of the top offensive tackles, all-purpose back, which is a fancy way of saying dynamic running back, Will Shipley, and then number 32 overall commit, also a 5-star outside linebacker, Barrett Carter. Once again, Dabo's found his way to put together a very strong class for Clemson. What I want you guys to do now is scroll on down to the comments and shout out your favorite team. It is okay to argue with others as long as we are mostly polite about it, but don't be afraid to cast a little bit of shade at others. Shout out your team. Make sure they're well represented down there in the comments. Number 4, the LSU Tigers. Back-to-back Tigers, fun fact there. Mason Smith, number 18 overall. He's their top recruit, followed up pretty closely by number 29 overall defensive back, Sage Ryan. It was not a good year for LSU, but that doesn't mean they can't recruit. They're just behind the number 3 team in the Georgia Bulldogs. 21 players committed, 4 different 5 stars. Amarius Mims, number 7 overall. Quarterback Brock Vandegrift, who's supposed to be the next great Georgia quarterback. Xavier Sorey, an outside linebacker, along with Smail Mondin, 2 different outside linebackers to give the Bulldogs some great talent there. In many years, you would think this would be a top 2 or top 1 recruiting class. However, the top 2 programs have put together something incredibly special. The Ohio State Buckeyes right now are number 2, and they might not be done. They're led by defensive end Jack Sawyer, number 4 overall. Quarterback Kyle McCord is part of a 5-member, 5-star class, plus 13 4-stars to go along with it. If you're the Buckeyes, it's almost like, well, if you're a 3-star recruit, we're not going to look at you all that much, although once you get offered by Ohio State, you often become at least a 4-star or better. But at number 1, again, because as much as things change, the more they stay the same, Alabama, go figure, right? 26 players committed right now. 7 of them are 4-stars. Are 5-stars, excuse me. 7 of them are 5-stars. They've also got 15 4-stars, because why not, right? They got number 2 overall player J.C. Latham, and Tommy Brockermeyer is the number 5 overall recruit. They got 2 different offensive tackles inside the top 5, a couple defensive players, some offensive guys mixed in that 5-star grouping as well. Once again, it is an unreal class put together by the Alabama Crimson Tide and Nick Saban. They're all but assured of that number 1 overall spot, but there will be plenty of changes during National Signing Day tomorrow, so make sure you guys are subscribed and you don't miss out.